What's up, YouTube? So before I forget, I do want to put below Scully's new channel, Insomniac by Choice. You gotta love that name. It's good to see just genuine video makers. So I don't care what they talk about, is this as long as I think he's a real guy making real videos. So I mean, not being paid is what I mean by that. So yeah, and he's always been cool to me, so, and I appreciate that. So that'll be below if you guys want to check him out, and girls, ladies. I want to talk about the manifestation stuff, okay? I don't think that we are manifesting what's about to happen and what's going to happen. I don't think that's the case. I think we can manifest stuff in our own lives, but this stuff, the storyline, that's basically, that's how I look at it. I don't think that has anything to do with us. This is all a path and a story and events that have been planned out long ago that ain't got nothing to do with us. I don't think the Illuminati, the Saturn scum, the fake Jews that are running this place, being guided by Saturn and the fallen angels, I don't think that they're just letting us see this stuff so we can manifest it for them. I don't. And the reason why I think that is because there is nothing you can do about this place. There's nothing you can do. This place is a learning training ground, and that's how I look at it, and that's the truth as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there's anything we'll ever be able to do because the majority will never wake up. If the majority hasn't waken up by now, and I don't mean just since I've been alive, like in the 1900s, 2000s, and what have you, I mean centuries ago, then it's not going to happen now. I don't even care about the earthquake. I don't care about the asteroid, meteor, or comet, or whatever it is, which I don't even believe in anyway. It's some weapon I think that we haven't seen. I mean, we saw it on Russia. We saw it 9/11. But that's the thing. I don't even care about this stuff, okay? I take it down to the very small level, okay? Like with CERN, you got this big machine, and it smashes atoms, particles, light, whatever you want to call it. Smashes them, big bang, right, and creates a universe. Okay, so this is a representation of a man's penis. This is a representation of a woman's vagina. What do? Bang, 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 right? And then you have a baby, and it creates a universe. Okay, so what I mean by all that, by breaking it down to the small level, I don't care about all that the earthquakes, the tsunamis, I don't care about all that stuff. I care about what's happening at the very small level, okay? So then who is sitting around and manifesting people like JP Morgan? Who's sitting around on YouTube and manifesting the monetary system? Who's sitting around and manifesting the Federal Reserve? Who is sitting around and manifesting the breakup of the families? Who is sitting around on YouTube and is thinking in their heads and manifesting half the women working 2 or 3 jobs so they're not at home with the kids? Who is sitting around on YouTube and manifesting that the men and the families aren't even there? Isn't it like seriously like 50 or 60% of the men aren't even active fathers, don't even care? And yeah, I got that number from some study on the news, but I can tell you what, my wife, her father was never around. My best friend, his father was never around. My sister's ex-boyfriend, her ex-husband, common law husband, his father was never around. So in my own personal life, I can see that those statistics are very true, if not very close. Who on YouTube is sitting around and manifesting autism and all this stuff? It doesn't work like that. I mean, I don't see how that works like that. Do you have to do all that stuff? I don't care about manifesting earthquakes and all that kind of shit because I don't care about that stuff. That's not the problem. The problem is us. The problem is the families. The problem is people caring about themselves and caring about each other. I don't think that we're sitting around and manifesting this hell on earth that's coming. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Autism, for crying out loud. My cousin has 2, it's just in my immediate family. My cousin has 2 kids, my sister has a kid, and my sister-in-law has a kid. Okay? My nephew has ADHD, which I'm not really a big believer in that, but I'm just telling you what the doctors have medically and clinically diagnosed him with, okay? My sister-in-law, my niece, she has autism. My cousin's kid, he has 2 kids, one of them is fine, the other one has autism. So that's 3 out of 4 kids that have something wrong with them. So who is sitting around on YouTube talking about this stuff and manifesting this stuff into reality? How about babies? Do you think any of these young kids are even, like I told you, half the men, 50, 60% of the men who don't even care about their having a kid, do you think when they're having sex with somebody, they're thinking in their head, oh, I'm gonna have a baby? How does that work then? Half these kids are drunk whenever they're doing this shit, or high, not even thinking about this stuff. They're just thinking about getting their rocks off. So how do these babies come into manifestation if they're not even thinking about them? You know, I'm not trying to be mean or yell or argue with anybody, but it's just like, I just don't get it. Like, so what's our other choice? Go back to sleep? Say, yeah, you know what? The only way out of this is to vote. Yeah, the people we need to model our lives around is Hollywood. What's our other choice? How come more people aren't waking up then? How come people like my parents, I've been at this for 5 years, they're still listening and believing everything the news tells them? Aren't we coming out here every day on YouTube? Well, you know what I mean, not me every day, but there's someone putting new videos out every day, whether it be a shill or not, saying the media is full of crap. So why aren't more people, why is that, why are there still as many people, as far as I'm concerned, still listening to the media? Because there is one guy at work. I work in a store with like 100 and whatever, some people. There's only one guy at work who's even, who gets this stuff. Everybody else still listens to the news. Everybody still believes in the electoral process. So where does this come into play? Like, I don't get it. And yeah, these guys are always going to be one step ahead of us. We're never going to know everything they're doing and how it all works, but the fact of the matter is because they know everything. Whenever we could go, if they would just tell us the truth, if we could just, what's above us, what's below us, they could tell us like that. What really happened on 9/11? How did you do it? They could tell us like that. You know, it's of course they're going to be one step ahead of us when they can tell, when they know exactly what area and where it's going to be affected, how it's going to be affected, when it's going to be affected. Of course they're going to be one step ahead of us, but there's nothing we can do about that. This information has changed my life for the better. I don't care what anybody says. You're not here to be with me every day. You don't know how I've changed, and I don't care. I don't care if you believe me or not. I don't care. So I'm just not going to entertain that to, oh, well, maybe they want us, they're letting this information get out so we can make it happen for them. No. This shit's going to happen regardless, just like it happened all the times ago, and it's going to keep on happening. So, but that's me. Maybe, sorry. Like I said, what's the choice then? We just quit talking about this stuff? Go vote? I mean, does that make any sense? This knowledge is power. So why don't you want to give yourself knowledge? Why wouldn't you want to do that? I think it's irresponsible, like they even said on the X-Files, whenever I did that video and they laid out that whole thing out, the whole plan, everything that's happening, they laid it out, and they got one character who's a skeptic and said, you know, you can't go on TV and tell people this stuff, and he had another character say, you know, it's irresponsible not to talk about this stuff, and I think that's true. So, I mean, I just don't get it. And you always have the people that say, well, how about 2012 then? Was there not a movie that came out, a huge Hollywood movie, where in that year, the whole world literally crumbled and fell apart? Did that happen? How about September 23rd, 2015? And yeah, I think 2012 and 2015, there were huge events. We just didn't know what was going on. 2012, whether it be the countdown like the X-Files said, or a time shift, or whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is we all were focused on 2012, possibly, and not everybody, but you got to be kidding me, man. It was a global phenomenon. Right? That movie was huge. In that year, the whole world fell apart. It didn't. September 23rd, 2015, we expected some major event. Didn't happen. So yeah, maybe it's going to happen down the road, which it will happen down the road, but the fact of the matter is we were focused on a specific day or a specific year and nothing happened. So there you go again, it doesn't work that way. In my opinion, it does not work that way. We can physically manifest stuff and focus stuff in our lives, but we can never. All we can do is try to change ourselves to try to help change, I hate to say that, to help change somebody else, because you can't do that. I mean, as far as, you shouldn't try to change yourself, just try to change someone else, which is part of my problem at the very beginning of all this stuff. And not that I was, not a messiah complex thing, it's just, you just want people to better themselves. You see people miserable, say, hey man, I'm doing it, you can do it too. You know, and that's really how it breaks down to me. So, but this stuff is written. It's already happened. How can they know this stuff so well? How can they have it broken down so well that I mean, like I said before in the last video with the currency, you know, how can they have it so dead on precise if it hasn't already happened or if they haven't seen it? There's no way. There's no way. No one in the world can convince me otherwise. That the back of the $20 bill, the back of the freaking, well, the old 20 and the new 20, because what was the old 20 had the Oklahoma City bombing, and then the new one had the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. You can't convince me that they haven't been there and seen it, or they didn't tear some window in a dimension and look at it, because it's just impossible. And the way those bills are made and how they dot everything out, I mean, it's impossible. So this stuff has already happened. I don't think we have anything to do with this. This is just another way of us taking the blame and maybe getting us to shut up about it, because we're scared to death of talking about it, because, well, I don't want to say anything because it'll come true. It's already happening. It's already happened. It just makes it's sad, because it's the families. The families are broke up now. Who the cuss is sitting around on YouTube making videos and think that sorry. I don't think so. So that's where I stand on that stuff. Just wanted to get that out there. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, so I don't know. We'll see what you think, because I don't think it works that way. It ain't got nothing to do with ego or anything like that. If someone can prove it, then maybe I'll listen. But until then, you know, I don't know why anybody would want to take credit for this awful stuff happening, okay? Who the hell is sitting around thinking up the monetary system? Man, for crying out loud. Cheese and rice, the Federal Reserve, the Act of 1871, all this crap. I don't know. Thanks to my subscribers for watching. I'll see you on the next video.